morning, Mayhem Fitness, and happy Veterans Day. You know, this video today I want to serve two purposes. The first, I just want to say thank you to a ton of friends of mine and family who served. The second thing I want to do is I want to talk about mental health and how important it is. So in the first part of the video, what we're going to do is we're just going to go through and say thank you to a bunch of folks. Guys like Eric and Ray and Ryan and John who served with me in the 82nd Airborne back in the early 90s. In my family, my Uncle Carl, who was in for a ton of years, did a bunch of tours overseas. My Uncle Danny, who was in the Navy. My Aunt Roberta, who was in the Army, who now lives over in Germany. My dad, who was an Air Force guy and who was pissed at me for going in the Army and not the Air Force, who's since passed away. I'll go to the Veterans Cemetery and see him today. To my boss, Dave, my buddy, Danny. Thank all of you guys for your support. I also want to call out two people specifically that I'm very proud of. So a couple of friends of mine, Tommy and Ralphie, they got to talking a couple of years ago. You know, Ralphie and Tommy both have pretty big jobs. They both lead a lot of people, a lot of responsibility. They decided last year that they were going to try to take on running together as they're both in their mid-40s. Ralphie was in the Army, Tommy was in the Marine Corps. Thank you to both you guys. And so from a fitness standpoint, this is an awesome story. They started talking about doing like a 5K, and then it turned into a 10K, and then it turned into a half marathon. And then just a couple of weeks ago, both of them, who have never run a marathon before, both completed the Marine Corps Marathon. And I know they both put in a ton of effort. We were in Phoenix together at our national meeting, and they were both out running in the morning, 5-6 miles in Phoenix, away from home, super early. We'd have long days in front of us, and they had a lot of responsibility. So, man, I can't tell you how proud I am of the two of you guys for the work that you've done. It's an amazing story for two guys in their mid-40s with young kids and tons of responsibilities to find the time to take care of themselves and to get after their fitness journey like that. Kudos to you guys. I love you. Tons of respect. Awesome work. So you can see, guys, I'm still on my 20,000 step a day challenge in November. We've hit it every day so far. It's November 11th, so we've gotten 200,000 steps in already this month. That's pretty good. Actually more than that. So we're averaging just under 21,000. So that's pretty cool. But what I really want us to do is slow down a little bit and talk about mental health for our soldiers. So you may have seen this before, and maybe you haven't, but 22 young men and women, or maybe a little older, people that served our country commit suicide every day. It's a huge black mark on our country because the folks that served us and put their lives on the line feel lost, hopeless, they don't know what to do. And as I've had the chance to do some work with my company over the last few years, one of the things I'm incredibly proud of is the work we've done around mental health. But we also have our employee resource groups. We have a call today at 1 o'clock. And the military resource group is one of the things that we have to offer. And what we do is we give people the opportunity to tell their stories. We give the people the opportunity to be vulnerable, which is huge. I'm going to be honest with you. This country has frustrated me the last few years with some of the work, some of the ways we've gone with some of the extreme wokeness, I'll call it. And I know people have different terms. I think we've gone too far in some directions. But I do have a ton of respect for the work that we've done on the mental health side and really taking the stigma away from someone asking for help if they need it. I won't go into details, but suicide hit my family a couple years ago very hard. And I still, to this day, wish this person had just called somebody. It didn't have to be me, but somebody in our family to tell them how much they meant to us and how important they were to us and how we needed them, because suicide, while it takes away your pain, it really amplifies the pain on the rest of your family. So if you don't feel like somebody needs you or loves you, I promise you somebody does. And someone will miss you if you're gone, and it'll devastate people more than you realize. So just know that you're loved, that people need you, that you're important. And there's people out there that you can talk to. Man, if you don't know me, you just follow this channel and you're seeing my journey, feel free to reach out to me. I don't care. I'm okay. I'll help you. Shoot me a note here, anywhere on here, and I'll happily reach back out to you. I don't have any problem with that. We can talk. But talk to somebody, right? Make sure that You know, you understand that you're worth a lot to people. We need you. You're important. We appreciate what you've done. And it matters, right? Like, it's really important that you understand that you matter. You know, I talk to a lot of young men and women as a leader in the company that I've been in for a long time that come home and they feel not valued for what they did. And as stupid as it is, and I hate to use this example, but it really is a good example of good writing in a not a bad movie, but in a series that went really stupid. But you go back and watch the first Blood movie, the first one, where Rambo's just in the office with Troutman, and he's talking about, you know, overseas, I led groups of men, and I was in charge of $1 million equipment, and now I come home and I can't get a job. And I can't tell you how many times I sat in an interview, and the other leaders in the room have discounted people that have served and people that were leaders, right? You know, whether they were a specialist or a corporal, or they got into, you know, an NCO rank. I know corporal's an NCO, but they became a sergeant. And these girls are 20, 21 years old, and they're leading groups of people into life and death situations. And we come home and we act like, well, these guys can't, you know, go manage these 4 or 5 people in this business. It's a bunch of bullshit. And it's super frustrating to me. So, like, if you're a leader, stop discounting what the folks in the military can do. This is the problem we have. We discount all this work and effort these guys and girls put in. And this is some of the most stressful things you can do. So, you know, take those folks. If you want to find ways to create leaders, you know, find these folks and make them leaders, because they have been through a ton and they've earned the right to be a leader for us. So, you know, but that's a big thing that hurts a lot of people from a mental health standpoint. And just understand that people haven't seen what you've seen. They just haven't. It's a lot of stuff. I was super fortunate to be in during peacetime, and I was lucky enough not to see some of the atrocities that some of my friends and family saw. I didn't lose friends in there, thankfully. I didn't have to kill anyone, thankfully. Like, I didn't have to go through some of the stuff that these guys and girls have gone through, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. But understand that they've gone through a lot and they've seen a lot. So, you know, help them out where you can. Let's take care of our brothers and sisters. Let's say thank you. We appreciate everything you've done. Happy Veterans Day. I hope you have a great day. You get to spend some time and celebrate with your family. I just got back home. My flag will always fly here. I'm always available if you need to talk, no matter what. Send me a note. We'll talk. I'm here for you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for your service again. Let's look out for each other. Have an awesome day, guys. We'll talk to everybody really soon.